Now we've got Bob Shanks, Ford's Chief Financial Officer. Thank you for joining us here, and let's get right into those numbers. You beat on revenue, but what do you account for the miss on earnings? Is it because of the decision to stop producing sedans, maybe scaring away buyers? What's going on?
No, not at all, actually. The North American business, if you adjust for the impact of the big fire we had at a supplier named Meridian, actually performed very, very well. The miss versus Wall Street was largely around a difference in the tax rate.
Okay.
That was really what was the primary driver there.
All right, so let's talk about, and I want to bring in the news, with Europe. I don't imagine that's going to impact your sales too much in Europe. But as we look at your sales and what's going on in China, are you worried about the potential trade war and showdown with China having an impact on future revenue and earnings for Ford?
Well, certainly one of the things that we have seen thus far in the quarter is some headwinds coming from everything tariff-related, actually tariffs themselves in terms of the impact on our imports into China, probably about $50 million of impact in the quarter, but also the effect that tariffs have had on the price of steel primarily, but also aluminum, mainly affecting our business in the United States. And we think the effect in the quarter of that was about $150 million of headwinds.
Do you think that the announcement today of concessions between the EU and the United States, will that help the picture as you go forward in the price of steel and aluminum? It sounds as if the steel and aluminum tariffs, at least with Europe, are about to drop. Does that have an impact on your business?
Well, it may help. I think also a NAFTA agreement, which we're hopeful will be soon in terms of realization. That would certainly help as well. I think, the main takeaway, I believe, from that one could take from the news conference that we just listened to between President Trump and the EU representative is the fact that they have agreed to engage and to work towards free and fair trade. And hopefully that's something that we'll see apply to a good NAFTA agreement, but also to resolve ultimately the issues in place with China.
I am curious, Sergio Marchionne passed away unexpectedly, and there was a statement from Ford about his passing, but he had in the past approached Ford as well as GM about consolidating. He backed away from that because nobody was interested. But do you see the auto industry having to consolidate? And I ask that question because I am a big fan of Ford sedans. I love the Fusion Hybrid. I will miss it when it's no longer available in North America. Should there be consolidation globally?
I think what you'll see, Adam, is a lot more partnerships. So we of late have announced that we're working very closely with Volkswagen in various parts of our world in terms of how we might partner and help each other. We've also announced several MOUs, Memo of Understandings, with Mahindra, who's a strong Indian player in terms of how we might help each other in India and maybe markets beyond. So I think you'll see partnering perhaps take more of a leading role in terms of business designs among the OEMs as opposed to consolidation.
Mr. Shanks, we appreciate your being with us on FBN. And again, I am going to miss the Fusion, but fortunately, we still get the Mustang. All the best to you.